What's poppin', guys? And today I'd like to share my thoughts on these two Boron treated cubes, the Boron treated RS2M and the Boron treated SM. So I've had both of these cubes for about 2 weeks now, and so far these cubes actually have been performing really great so far. So first, let's start off with the RS2M. So the RS2M has gained a bit of speed after this break-in, and the thing is, usually these Boron treated cubes tend to get gummy after not being used for some while. So I'd like to also mention about this letter that I received along with the package. I wasn't able to notice this when I was unboxing, but it mentions that both of these cubes are lubed with 10K on the core, Visuum Velox, 10K and Haze X on the tracks and pieces. And so because of this, I've heard that Velox and Visuum tend to work like Angstrom's Gravitas and Dignitas, which tend to make the cube pretty much very gummy, and that's exactly what I've been experiencing with both of these cubes. So the RS2M has gotten really insanely smooth. As I mentioned before, you've got to try to feel how smooth this is, and it's really feeling a lot softer from the treatment. The performance was improved quite slightly with this treatment, meaning it can corner cut much better than, let's say, a regular RS2M. And the turning is, again, it's just full on soft and smooth, though you can hear some of that crispiness that is taken and is with the RS2, which is basically its main property. And because of this, I had decided to make this my main speed cube at competitions. Although at home I do use the GAN 356X at home, even though it's still much more relatively soft and fast. But sometimes I tend to overshoot with this cube, and which is why I prefer to use this during competition. I'd like to also compare it with the Weilong WRM. Now the WRM was my previous main, and it's now currently my back-up main and my OH main. Due to its 55mm size, I've gotten quite used to 56mm already using this cube. However, the WRM is pretty soft, but it also carries that super crunchy feel, despite it having primary internals while the RS2 having none. But because of the Boron treatment, it makes it much nicer, much more smoother, and more pleasant experience to turn compared to the WRM. But overall, with the Boron treatment and the lube combination, this RS2 has become really good. And it is one of the best turning cubes in my collection. Alright, now moving on to the RSM. As you can see that there's still some grayish residue on the pieces from the Boron treatment, but it's gone a bit more darker recently. And so on to the performance and feel. The SM is really much better with break-in, although it's the same thing with both cubes, that they're gummy after not solving for a while. However, with the SM, most SMs tend to have like a sort of frictiony feel with this kind of honeycomb design, and it can even be felt in the GAN X quite after a bit of break-in. When you try to turn it as slowly as possible, there you can see that there's some sort of like friction that's going on with the pieces. However, with the SM and the Boron treatment in it, the friction is much reduced, meaning that I can turn it a lot more smoothly. And it's also one of the best turning cubes, though the thing is, it's stickered, which is why it's not my main, and it's sometimes slow at some point. Now in comparison with the GAN X, the X is still much faster, and it has this different kind of soft. The SM carries a slightly clacky, crunchy softness with it, as you can hear from the sound of the turning. However, the X has a bit more muffled, lower pitched softness. It's more on the crunchy side, not as clacky as the SM. However, the Boron treated SM still has a much smoother turning overall. But the SM really is still a great cube, especially with this Boron treatment. And it's definitely been a joy to turn ever since I've got it within these 2 weeks. Same as well with the RS2. And overall, these two cubes I've been enjoying a lot lately. So again, after these 2 weeks, these two cubes have become insanely amazing with this Boron treatment. So because of this, I really highly recommend XCuber's Boron treating service. It's only $3 or 150 pesos, excluding shipping of course, since you need to have it sent to him to have these cubes treated, then sent back. But for the price paid, the Boron treatment really is worth it. So really, if you want to give your cubes a second chance, you definitely want to check XCuber's page out. It's definitely really been working well with these Rubik's cubes. And so, these really are a real pleasure to turn. And really, I'm not kidding that both of these cubes are really amazing performers, especially with that amazing buttery smooth feel. Super enjoyable overall. So anyways, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Keep popping, guys. Peace.